I didn't even realize I didn't even know anything about Spider-Man. Cause look, there are 7 things I may not know about Spider-Man. I may not know about. I'm a big Spidey fan. I don't know what I can forget. But guys, stay tuned and stay subscribed. Now let's get into this video. 7 things I might know.
Spider-Man has finally swung his way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and today we are celebrating by sharing a few things you may not know about the character on this episode of Listed.
Marissa
Spider-Man remains the biggest superhero on the planet, and fans have lots to celebrate now that he is an official member of the MCU. Being so popular, you probably think you know everything there is to know about the character. But today, we're revealing a few tidbits that even the most die-hard fans may not know. Number 1, he's not Marvel's first Spider-Man. In the 1950s, superheroes had gone out of fashion and were replaced by stories featuring monsters and aliens.
The fuck is that?
In October 1961, shortly before the Silver Age of comics began, Marvel published Journey into Mystery number 73. The story focused on a comet spider that was exposed to radioactive rays that caused it to grow large and develop human-level intelligence. It was able to speak and could even shoot webs, but ended up being killed by the end of the story. Less than a year later, Marvel introduced the world to a very
They thought they probably had to rethink that whole thing. They was like, why the fuck we want a big spider?
2, a bigger universe. While Captain America Civil War marks the first time Spider-Man shares the screen with other Marvel heroes, it's not the first time that he's been part of a superhero-filled world. In 2004's Spider-Man 2, J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson is attempting to come up with a name for the
Doctor Strange.
His employee suggests Dr. Octopus and Science Squid, but Jameson prefers the third suggestion, Doctor Strange.
I knew it.
Personally, though, he says it's taken and decides to go with Dr. Octopus instead. As we all know, Doctor Strange is a hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe who will be getting his own movie this November.
I'm definitely watching that.
Spider-Man will likely join forces for 2018's Avengers Infinity War.
Maybe.
While Doctor Strange was only mentioned in the film, there was another Marvel hero that almost made it into the movies. In a 2013 interview with the Huffington Post, Hugh Jackman revealed that he was set to make a cameo as Wolverine in the first Spider-Man movie, but the studio was unable to find the suit, so it ended up not happening. With Hugh Jackman set to play
Wolverine, ain't gotta wear a suit.
One more time, we will likely
come in like that.
him and Spider-Man on the same screen. But the talent behind the Deadpool movie had expressed interest in having Spider-Man appear in their film, so you never know. Number 3, he's a late-night comedy fan. It may come as a surprise to non-comic book fans, but sometimes individuals in the real world end up making appearances in the pages of comics. Spider-Man has had a number of real-world team-ups, and for some reason, many involve hosts of real-life late-night programs. In October 1978, Spider-Man teamed up with the original cast members of Saturday Night Live to take down the Silver Samurai. In the comic, Peter takes Mary Jane to a taping of the show, hosted by Stan Lee, of course, but soon has to don his Spider-Man costume to save the cast and the show. That wasn't his only run-in with the late-night comics, though.
Big ass head, small body, looking at Spider-Man.
Spider-Man teamed up with then Tonight Show host Jay Leno to
I knew that was a big ass job.
while they're shooting a General Motors commercial. It made no sense, but it was not the last talk show host that Spidey would come face to face with. In 2008, Spider-Man was lent a hand by Stephen Colbert, who was attempting to run for president at the time. Needless to say, he didn't win. Number 4, he once beat up Barack Obama.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Exactly. But speaking of presidential elections, after Barack Obama won in 2008, Marvel released a comic that featured Peter Parker taking pictures for the Daily Bugle at his inauguration. When a second Barack Obama suddenly shows up, Peter dons his Spidey suit to question both men.
That's weird.
When one of the men cannot remember his middle name, he is revealed to be the villain Chameleon. Chameleon and Spider-Man have a brief fight before he hands Chameleon over to the police, and then Spidey...
Chameleon would do some bullshit like that.
From the Washington Monument.
Chameleon always trying to transport somebody like that.
Even heroes need help. We've seen Spider-Man take down criminals numerous times. It turns out he needed some help from real-life crime fighters when 4 of his suits were stolen from the set of the first Spider-Man movie. It happened in April 2001, and with a value of $50,000 each, the studio offered a $25,000 reward for their safe return. It took a year and a half for investigators to track down the culprit, a security guard who had worked at the studio. All 4 suits were eventually recovered, with one ending up all the way in Japan, along with a Batman suit valued at $150,000.
Damn, they done stole them
Something tells us
suits.
the suits were not
That suit ugly as
stolen in
hell.
order to use them to
I'd
fight
have stole that
crime.
shit and threw it away.
Number 6, classic inspirations. Shocking as it may seem, comic book movies are most inspired by, you guessed it, comic books. Most of the time, it's just story elements in the comics, but occasionally entire scenes are ripped from the pages. One of the most famous took place in Spider-Man 2, when Peter decides to give up being Spider-Man.
That was in the comic books.
Director Sam Raimi and his team recreated the scene perfectly, but it turns out inspiration for the films also come from other sources. For instance, director Mark Webb looked to classic cinema for inspiration on 2 scenes in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. For the shot in which Spidey grabs the back of a moving car to escape, stunt coordinator Andy Armstrong studied a classic Buster Keaton bit, frame by frame, in order to emulate it exactly.
Oh, that's
For the
tight.
scene in which Peter Parker ends up rolling up and down the walls of his bedroom, Armstrong and his team took a cue from an effect pioneered in 1951's Royal Wedding that
Oh, that's
featured
tight.
star Fred Astaire dancing on a ceiling. Number 7, he has a middle name. The name Peter Parker is known throughout the world, but did you know he also has a middle name? While it had gone mostly under the radar, Peter's middle name is
Benjamin.
Most likely
Peter
as a
Benjamin
tribute to his
Parker.
Uncle Ben.
That don't sound.
The origin of the middle name likely comes from a scene in Web of Spider-Man number 19, published in 1986. In that issue, Peter is seen handing his birth certificate with the name Peter Benjamin Parker on it to a city official
Wow.
in order to get a passport.
Benjamin.
The name hasn't been used much since, but we're guessing if he ever hears Aunt May use it, then he's probably in
Baby like Benjamin.
There you have it, you guys.
Be like,
A few
yes.
things that you probably did not know about Spider-Man. Are there any fun facts that we missed and that you would like to share? Drop some Spider-Man knowledge in the comment section, or you can tweet me
I
at
got one.
Miriam Issa.
I got one.
And then click over here to find out what we would like to see happen in next year's Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm Miriam Issa. Thank
That
you
shit
for
coming
watching,
back.
you
Oh, that
guys.
shit is coming next year. Yes.
I'd love to find out a few things you may not have known about the Winter Soldier, or click right for some facts about Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, Winter Soldier. One fact that people might not know about Spider-Man is that when Stan Lee first made Spider-Man, the people, the news, whoever Stan Lee was running with, they didn't want Spider-Man, so they didn't take his idea. Stan Lee actually snuck his idea into one of the news, whatever the places that they run all the newspapers and stuff and all the comic books. He stashed his idea. He went to take his idea. He snuck his idea in, and then they saw it, and they actually really enjoyed it, which started his Marvel comic book series with Spider-Man. He wasn't originally supposed to have Spider-Man because the guy didn't like it. I mean, so he didn't want to take his idea. So, But post comments down below. Tell me what you, no, don't post your comments down below. Message me, social media, whatever, whatnot. I don't know when I'm gonna enable my comments. It's been disabled for a while just because of trolling issues. But when I get back on my comments, I'll definitely tell you to comment. You can just message me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, anything like that. So guys, subscribe and let's get to 900 to 1,000 pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching.